Hi. Okay, so as you can see behind me, I have a little wall of various sports. Primarily, it has something to do with skateboarding, longboarding. Pretty much anything on a board I enjoy. You also see maybe a BMX frame as well as some scooters right over there. Can't get my hand to point in the right. There it is. Yes. There. Yes. Cool. I'm a fan of trying out other people's sports. Basically, as soon as I hear that it's somewhat relevant, I look it up on YouTube and then I try it. Reason I do that is mainly because anytime I go to the skate park, there's always like one skater primarily bashing another person for doing the sport that they're doing, whether it be a kid on a scooter or like guy riding a longboard or anything. I ride longboards, but I also ride skateboards as well. I usually stick with the longboard because I'm just more comfortable doing all my tricks on it. I can do a lot of flip tricks on a skateboard, but what happens is I may do the flip trick, but I'm not going to be comfortable on it for at least like a week and a half. So I'm going to have to like do that. Anyway, primarily I ride longboards. That's my thing. But I was asked by a subscriber named Trey Penton. I believe that's your last name. Anyway, that's your channel name. And this is for you, man. This is a review or just a little showcase of all of my different setups, mainly my boards. I'll go through each board and then I'll say like the different setups that I like riding on. Cool. This is my well-worn, loaded Tantan. It didn't actually look as worn on this top as I thought it did. Anyway, so basically this board I use for freestyle, moderate free riding, mainly freestyle and carving. I actually like doing board slides a lot on this board just because the flex and the camber. So camber is when the board goes like this. Rocker is when the board goes like this. The camber of the board kind of drapes over the grind rail, which makes me feel kind of locked in. And I like that. So I like this board slides, sliding. The flexiness makes it sometimes a little squirrely when it comes to, I'm gonna scoot back so you can see it. The flexiness kind of makes it squirrely sometimes. That doesn't mean it's not fun. It's still really fun. It's just something that I need to adjust to because usually I ride my test rack. But I like riding this board with my Paris trucks. I have not tried the V3s. I really want to try the Paris V3 trucks. But these are the V2s. I have the stock bushings, but I actually have the double barrel red bushing. You can't really see that. Anyway, double barrel red bushings to match the red. I usually like to have my yellow orangutan nipple bushings, but I have that in a different setup right now. The reason I like that is because, like I said, the flex can make it kind of squirrely. However, you tighten up the bushings, you're good. You can see that it's kind of dark around the wheel. That's my driveway. My driveway just leaves that on my wheel. Anyway, and I do a lot of tricks in my driveway. This is the 86A Orangutan Kilmer Paris V2, 180 millimeter and 50 degree trucks on the loaded Tantan. This is the V2, not the V1, not the V3, V2 Tantan. It's also the Flex 1. I usually get the Flex 1 because for loaded's Flex 1. I usually get Flex 1 from loaded because it's the stiffest one and I like to do a lot of tricks. So, boom, loaded Tantan. This is my traditional skateboard. I like to do like flip tricks and I learn the flip tricks usually in my basement. This is my basement. And then I go learn it outside on my longboards. But usually I learn it on this guy. This is an 8.5 Alien Workshop skateboard deck. The trucks, I usually have my ND 159s on it. I don't right now because I have it on another board. Junky wheels. Yeah. I think the wheels are from like a Powell Carolata I can't pronounce that, from a deck. So are the trucks. This part's, yeah, cool. I think that's enough for this one. Okay, this is my dancer board. Scooting back, because this one's a big one. Boom, boom, cool. This is the Bustin' Danasu. Overall opinion, the flex is good. However, every setup that I've put on this board, I get wheel bite. It doesn't matter what setup I put on it, getting wheel bite, kinda hate that. Actually, you know what? I haven't put my Savants on it. Ooh. The Savants, they're really stable, really good pairs trucks. They're forged. They don't have as much of a turning radius as the cast ones. Yes, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a shot. I have the Adam Colton, again, Paris V2 trucks. The Orangutan Balut wheels. And these are actually the bushings straight out of the Savants. Quiet cat. I put those in there. As far as the deck goes, like I said, every setup that I put on it, I've gotten wheel bite. That's not a huge deal, and that's usually not like the deck's fault. Too much french fries. I don't know. How I have it set up is a little bit wider on the wheelbase on this side and on the narrower side on this one. The reason I did that is so I have one side with more kicktail and the other side with a little less kicktail, which sometimes makes you have a lot of momentum when you kick it down. Yeah. It's really fun to ride. This is the first dancer board that I've ridden. And usually what always happens is when I get another board, I tend to do the same style that I have, which is very freestyle free ride, sometimes a little bit of skate parky stuff. I kind of blend in a lot of different styles, dancing, freestyle, free ride, skate parky, and I put them into one. And that's kind of my style. A little bit of everything. But I definitely found myself doing a lot of sliding on it because it was just fun. Yeah, really fun, not as durable. That's that one. Next up is, this is the original Freeride 44. This is actually the second original Freeride series that I have. The first one was the original Freeride 41, the Rocker edition. Let me go get that real quick. Yeah. All right, you ready? This is it. This is the Kicktails. This is all that I have left of that board. On that one, I did do drop through part. You can see on this one, I have top mounted it. The reason for that is this is a dropped deck. I know it doesn't look like a huge drop, but it is, especially once it is drop through mounted. You hit curbs a lot. You roll off a curb, you scratch the whole thing. 90% of that came from that. It is the 44, so it is significantly bigger than what I'm used to. I thought I had a wider foot stance, and I thought that my other one was too small. I was thinking as I get older, I'm gonna have a wider foot stance. It actually got more narrow. The reason that happened is I started riding street skateboard decks for a little while, and I got used to the size. I do really like this board for holding out really long stand-up slides. As far as the setup goes, this is where the yellow orangutan bushings have gone. With orangutan stimulus wheels, you can see that that wheel is wobbling. That's because it is oval. If you slide at a 90-degree angle, you're gonna flat spot your wheel. If you slide at like a 60-70-degree angle, you're probably not. The reason for that is the wheel is gonna continue rotating, whereas if you're going straight, you're probably gonna stop the rotation of the wheel and then flat spot. So some of these wheels are a little bit ovaled. However, with a lot of 360s, I've kind of started to slowly bring them back to a more spherical shape. One of them had a pretty big flat spot in it, so I'm pretty proud of that because the orangutan stimulus wheels, those are some of my favorites. I really enjoy orangutan stimulus wheels. Pretty much anything with that, they call it the Happy Thane formula. Anything with the Happy Thane formula that is part of an original, anything with the Happy Thane formula that is part of an orangutan wheel, I'm gonna love. So that is the original Freeride 44. I have a little Enjoy Panda that I did with a paint pen that was running out. But this is my Bustin' Yo Face 35. As far as the setup goes, Indies 159s. I like them. I like them a lot for this deck. I like them for a lot of decks. Street decks, Bustin' Yo Face, pretty good. I have the Orangutan Onsens. This is a super fun wheel. My bearings suck in this wheel. On these types of boards, I don't intend on going exceedingly fast, so I tend not to put my good bearings in there. I really need to clean them. I've been spending a lot of time doing flip tricks on my Tesseract board, which you have seen, whereas this board, you know, it might be pretty good at it with giving the kicktails the size. Look how beefy this kicktail is right there. Yeah, that should be good. I don't know why I haven't used it that much. The only thing that I can complain about this board is one of the kicktails. I don't remember which one it is, but it feels as though there's a slight bit of sag, in which case maybe it's just somewhat flexy, even though it shouldn't be, because this is basically like a big street deck. Maybe it's that I stress cracked something, which I'm gonna be honest, I haven't put this thing through that much abuse, so I don't know why. Another setup that I like on this board is with the Orangutan Skiffs. These are gonna be really good like tech sliding wheels. I usually use these wheels at a skate park. However, the Orangutan Skiffs are kind of like a street skate park wheel for a longboard. A little bit softer, and you can slide at higher speeds and feel more comfortable. It's gonna be a video in the future where I take this guy, I put the Orangutan Skiffs on there, and we take it down a hill, and we just have a slidey mess of fun. I also need to try some tech sliding. I've seen it done a lot. I'm not very good at it. I'm not gonna say I'm not good at something anymore. We could be good at it. We just gotta spend time. So, yeah, this is this board. You're gonna see a lot of this board in the future. Gravity. All right. This one right here is the tried and true. I have so much wax there. I can't say enough about this board. I love it a lot. It's a great freeride board. It's a great freestyle board. I do most of my flip tricks on this thing, and I've learned a lot on it. This is my favorite setup. Orangutan Skiffs, Paris Savants. I need to make you see this. Need light purple orangutan bushings, purple orangutan skiffs. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I want another one. I have one other board, but I am saving it. I can't show you yet. I bought it specifically for a video, and I'm not ready to do that video yet because I don't have all the things that I need. So keep a lookout, hit the notification bar. You will see a video soon about this surprise board. Thanks, guys. Okay, real quick, I also wanted to add in other boards that I've had, but maybe broke in the past. So, my first ever longboard was an Apex 34. This was like early 2000s, whenever they first came out with the Apex 34, with the original S6 trucks. What wheels did I think I had like seismic, it was a blue seismic wheel. And then I also had like really small retro zigzags. Yeah, they were lime green, the other ones were like a light blue. I also had the Apex 34 at that time, came in two different colors. There was one with red stripes, more like circles, and then one with white. I had the white one. That was my first board. I love that board. I am looking all throughout eBay to find one because I'm a very nostalgic person and I care. And I want one back. For the 34 though, I remember I shoveled everyone's snow, raked everyone's leaves, cut everyone's grass, and I was just trying to save up for this board. And eventually, like, my dad just said he was really proud that I was working that hard and being that diligent and saving that much. And he ended up flipping the bill for the rest of the money for the board because he just said that he was proud. And that really meant a lot for me. Even though he flipped the bill for the rest of the board, he always said I worked for it, which in all reality, yeah, I worked really hard for it, but I didn't spend the rest of the money that I needed for it. I think I needed quite a few more dollars, you know. But he always said, like, I worked really hard for it, and he always expressed it how proud he was. And that really made me feel good. So thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. So the one that I got next was an Apex 37 Carbon. I think it was 2011 edition. And after a little while, I broke it, and I was devastated. Like, I used to sleep with that board in my bed. That's how much I loved it. After the 34, after the 37, I got an Apex 40 double concave. Basically, I broke the 37 and they replaced it with the 40 double concave, which was awesome. Eventually, I broke that one a lot. It wasn't so much that it broke, because the carbon fiber bar, the construction is very durable, so those things last a lot. But I wore down the Kicktails so much where they were non-existent, and that was before they came out with the Kicktail guards. And then I wore down the edges of the rail. Yeah, and along with that, I had a Freeride 41 while I was talking in the door, and then broke that, as you can see, because I showed you the Kicktails. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. See you later.